Hi again. I'd just like to say a little bit more about doctors because on Facebook I'm in a few groups and one of them is something like medical, I don't know what it's called, but anyway, it's full of mums who have new babies and they're really floundering because they feel that they want to have the kind of comfort and the safety net of a doctor, but they don't want the things that doctors offer, which come in a needle for their little tiny babies. So I just want to say that the only time, in my opinion, this is all just my opinion and my experience as an older person, the only time you need a doctor is if you are dying, if you want a diagnosis or a blood test, and if you want surgery. Otherwise, if you go to a GP or a doctor, all they've got is drugs. And the only time I would think drugs are, necessary is when it's a life-saving situation. And that would be asthma, breathing difficulties. You've got to be able to breathe. So if you need to have a steroid inhaler or Ventolin, salbutamol, then obviously got to have that. And insulin if you are type 1 diabetic. And what else? What else would I say you need drugs for? I can't actually think of anything at all. And so beyond that, it's just a personal choice. If you like taking medicine for your condition or just like medicine, then that's up to you. But for new mummies and daddies, you don't need a doctor. Oh God, what have I done to my face? You really don't, but you do need a network of very supportive health workers. So I think craniosacral therapy is amazing and gentle and non-invasive. And if you watch a baby having that treatment, you'll see the baby completely respond. They've got no reason to lie. You can watch it. It's like watching animals having treatment. They just respond. You can see them sigh, or there's some release that you can watch happening. The other thing is homeopathy. Obviously, that's my go-to. I absolutely love it. And the good thing about homeopathy is as soon as your baby's born, you can take a remedy on their behalf and it's instantly in your breast milk. Like the second it touches your mucous membrane, it's in your milk. It's like a miracle. And so that way your baby can have the remedy without actually having to eat sugar, which you don't want it to do when it's, well, ever, but when it's tiny, when it's newborn. And when Finn was a baby, sorry to keep talking about Finn, if he heard this, he'd be like, please stop talking about me. But he had eczema. He was like a little boiled ham. He was covered in eczema. And I was given by my homeopath sulfur, I think it was sulfur 30C, which is quite a low potency, one tablet one time, and it was a game changer. All the kind of the fetid, wet, cracking, really awful eczema was dealt with, and then it was just more like contact dermatitis for quite a few years, and then he developed asthma, which we then cured with homeopathy. So Finn is like my experiment because he never had any drugs at all. No vaccines, no Calpol, no anything. He just had homeopathy. And sometimes when I was under a lot of pressure from his dad, from my husband, I would just say, go and call 111, which is the not 999. It's the second emergency thing for like tricky situations where you don't want to call an ambulance. Anyway, so I would say, go and call 111 just to get him out of my hair so that I could do the work required. Because, what I had to do was take a book of this size and go in and think, okay, what's Finn's symptom? And because he was a baby, he couldn't tell me. So it was all down to my observation and what I felt. So say it was skin, then I'd go to the skin section. Then I'd have to trawl through like all this stuff just to find the potential remedies for him. And so it was better for me if Baz wasn't breathing down my neck, panicking. So that was me. So I understand from first-hand experience how pressurized it is when you've got a baby and you just feel like everything's going to kill it. Like you have to baby-proof your house when you have a baby, and that's just day one. And then it doesn't really get better for ages until they're able to look after themselves and in their 20s, and then you can kind of stop worrying-ish. But anyway, if you have a new baby, don't panic. Get homeopathic Belladonna, homeopathic Chamomilla, Arsenicum, Aconite, China, maybe Nux Vomica, maybe Opium, and that would be it. So they're about £7 a bottle from Helios, and so what's that? 7 sevens, 42. Is it? Anyway, it's a bit of money, but it's better than not having them. And my maths is terrible, I do apologise. And then, so you've got the remedies there at home. If anything happens, you can go online and, put in, now that we've got AI instead of Google, it's a bit more refined and instant, but it also filters out anything that, they would consider that they wouldn't want to support. So homeopathy doesn't get a lot of good results when you go into AI. But anyway, always go there. If I'm awake, if you're in my time zone, you're welcome to send me a message, and if I can, I will reply, and I won't charge because, babies babies aren't consumers. Babies just want to live. And so, yeah, I would say sorry, I'm just watching people coming in and out of the studio here. I'm so nosy, curtain twitcher. Yeah, I would say don't go to the doctors, stay away from paediatricians. They're full of shit. I would tell them to their faces. I probably have in my life said certain, maybe not as rude as that or as confrontational as that, but I do say what I think now that I'm old. Anyway, that's it. Okay, lots of love. Bye.